Hello, welcome to Machine Learning and Remote Sensing series. My name is PolyU, and this time I prepared to introducing the deep learning frameworks. As we know, the popularity of deep learning today has increased, and the demand for it is also increasing. So many people are trying to build their own deep learning models. Deep learning includes algorithms of various structures, such as deep neural networks, DNN, convolutional neural networks, CNN, and recurrent neural networks, RNN. And there are also many cases where several algorithms are mixed and used. Actually, it is not easy and inefficient to manually implement these various algorithms one by the user. So to solve this problem, the deep learning framework provides several verified libraries and various deep learning algorithms, allowing users to use them quickly and easily. The figure is an example of various deep learning frameworks, and each has different characteristics. Therefore, selecting and using an appropriate framework according to each user's need is very important starting factors in deep learning work. Shown figure is a ranking of several deep learning frameworks based on the deep learning framework power score in 2018. And this score is a ranking made by totally considering the speed of development, size of the user community, and the number of research papers implemented, the possibility of the long-term growth and stability. As you can see, the highest score in 2018 is TensorFlow, and followed by Keras and PyTorch. Another figure is the number of articles published. TensorFlow is being the highest, followed by PyTorch and Keras. Also, if you look at the framework rank in online job listings, TensorFlow is the best, followed by the PyTorch and Keras. In summary, the three most actively used deep learning frameworks are TensorFlow, Keras, and PyTorch. And today, I would like to compare these three frameworks. So the first is TensorFlow. TensorFlow was developed by Google and released as open source in 2015. And TensorFlow is a Python-based library that can be utilized on both CPU and GPU. And TensorFlow works for desktop and even mobile. And TensorFlow also supports other languages such as C++ and R. TensorFlow is a robust framework, especially for the GPU use. However, it is known to be complex and has a steep learning curve for beginners for the TensorFlow. But the TensorFlow is one of the most popular deep learning libraries, and it has a very large community and excellent documentation and support community. Another framework is Keras. Keras is a lightweight and easy to learn open source library written in Python. Actually, Keras was developed as an efficient and simple interface to solve the problem of the TensorFlow, that the TensorFlow is difficult for beginner because you have to work from a basic level to make your own deep learning model. So Keras provides an intuitive API that even non-deep learning experts can use it easily. The third framework is PyTorch. PyTorch is developed by Facebook AI research team, and PyTorch is on the base of the machine learning library called Torch. And PyTorch is known as a fast and flexible deep learning framework. And strong support for GPU, as parallel programs by multiple GPUs are available in PyTorch. Also, PyTorch provides a clean interface and is easy to use compared to TensorFlow. So when summarizing the three deep learning frameworks, they have common initial release 2015 of the TensorFlow and Keras and 2016 of the PyTorch, and three of them are written by the Python. However, in the case of architecture, TensorFlow is the most difficult to use, and Keras is relatively simple and readable. Also, for debugging, TensorFlow is difficult to deal with debugging problem, and PyTorch is useful for debugging, so you can flexibly deal with errors. While TensorFlow and PyTorch are useful for large datasets, Keras is recommended for the smaller datasets when you model the deep learning. And in terms of the speed, TensorFlow and PyTorch are known to be faster than Keras. So which framework you will use when you run the deep learning models? There is no one answer and depends on each user's situation and need. And these are some suggestions you can consider. For deep learning beginners, PyTorch is recommended to use because it is relatively easy to run and debug friendly. And PyTorch is more straightforward when it comes to handling data. TensorFlow is fast and handling large datasets, but it is harder for beginners because of the low-level implementations of the neural network structure. Compared to the TensorFlow, the high-level Keras API makes it easy to get started learning the basic concepts of deep learning. And PyTorch has the advantage of being easy to use and being more easily customizing than Keras. Lastly, when you see the figure, the trend of using PyTorch in the research field is increasing rapidly compared to the TensorFlow recently. So if you are more into the research domain, PyTorch could be your first choice. However, the demand for the TensorFlow is still high in the industry field. So a candidate from the industry domain would probably do well to choose TensorFlow, which is more mature in terms of production development due to its robust framework in TensorFlow. Again, considerations vary by selection of a deep learning framework according to personal goals and deep learning experience. I hope you find the best framework for you and have fun with your deep learning experience. And thank you so much for listening.